Hello my dear friends, welcome back to English Files and I am Shamsa talking to you. In this program English Files, I am not going to teach you English. English Files is an initiate from our channel English with Shamsa, in which we are going to debate on very important social issues. I will raise my voice in English Files. Shamsa talks in English Files. In this video, I am going to talk about the recent American government's decision to increase the H1B visa fees, which was earlier around 3 to 4,000 US dollars. Now it's close to 1 lakh US dollars. In Indian currency, it will be very close to 85 lakh or 90 lakh or even more than that. Why should we debate on this? I'll straight come to the point. English Files today decided to talk on this because this is a very relevant issue. One thing is for clear, whether this decision taken by the US government is just a mere proclamation or it is already an act which is passed and already implemented or going to be implemented soon is a different debate. I am making this video only to discuss some consequences of this if at all implemented. Why should we debate on it? Why have I chosen to discuss this in this video? Because like I have said, India is the only nation which sends the largest number of students to the United States. To give you one example, in the year 2023-2024, around 3.5 lakh students from India went to the United States to study and many more went to the United States to work. So definitely this issue should be debated and discussed. More than the studying and the job in United States, it is also a matter of prestige for many people from India to work in the United States. To be very honest, it is also the dream of many families in India. From the childhood, they start working the procedure to study in the United States or to get the job in United States. On a very lighter note, in the South, there are many people who take NRI marriages too seriously. The people from United States have a very good demand for marriages also. Jokes apart, in this video, I am going to discuss if at all this American government's decision is implemented, what are the disadvantages and what are the advantages. No doubt there are more disadvantages for India than advantages. I will talk about 10 disadvantages that India is going to face very soon. Disadvantage number 1. There are many American companies which usually sponsor Indian students who are exceptionally talented to come to the United States and study there, get the certifications. But now, because of the fact that the H1B visa fee application is manifold times increased, we cannot expect more US-based firms and companies to announce sponsorship, which is disadvantage number 1. Disadvantage number 2 is definitely the most affected ones are going to be the students. Like I have just mentioned, many Indian students dream of having their education, higher education in the United States, which is now going to be not very viable because around 1 crore money for one visa application fee is not a joke. So the students who want to go to the United States and study now must rethink unless and until they are ready to spend such a massive amount. Maybe to put in the other way, to put it more candidly, in the near future, going to the United States to study may be possible only for the already rich families, but not anymore viable for poorer families or middle class families, because spending around 1,000 US dollars, spending around 1 lakh US dollars is not a joke. So definitely students are going to be the most affected. Disadvantage number 3, it's very important. Many people who start organizations, tech companies, software companies in India were those who worked with United States earlier. With that international experience and knowledge and track record, they come back to India, they settle in India, they start software companies and other companies and recruit a lot of people. But now in the future, in the long run, this may not happen very often, which means the Indians generating jobs for Indians, the percentage is going to be very less. So disadvantage number 4, there are many Indian software companies especially which in the name of H1B visa send their employees to the United States, and these employees who are working in Indian companies in the name of H1B visa who go to the United States also try to settle there. But now these Indian companies may be more and more reluctant and unwilling to send their employees to the United States because the fee is increased. Why do they want to waste their money? Very interesting note is disadvantage number 5. Many people, not just in the name of studies or jobs, but also in the name of relations, like in the name of children, in the name of spouse, also leverage the H1B visa, but now it's going to be more difficult. So there may be family disruptions, there may be a lot of humanitarian issues. This should be noted. Disadvantage number 6 is many Indian firms, research organizations and companies which would usually prefer to have collaborations with the American based organizations now will rethink over this, or I can say they will now start going for the other options, which means the knowledge transfer from the United States to the India or from India to the United States is not going to be as often as before, which is not a small problem. It's going to be a big disastrous consequence. Disadvantage number 7, you already know the stock market has already been affected tremendously. So in the near future, stocks are going to really shatter a lot. Disadvantage number 8, in a broader context, this decision taken by the US government is also going to have a tremendous impact on macroeconomic issues, which means the rupee value has already slid down in the recent times. It's going to be more affected. So macroeconomical level, yes, this decision is going to really hit a blow. So disadvantage number 9, in the near future, in the long term, we may not expect more startups in India, or there are a lot of people from India who want to go to the United States and establish startups there, or the people having companies in India want to have branches in the United States may not be the same as before. Last but not the least, disadvantage number 1, in a generic term, kind of insecurity, desperation already has begun among many families in India, especially middle class families. Now they will now rethink 100 times whether to have this option of going abroad, working there or studying there, which is definitely not good, because like I have said, in India, going to the United States is not just every time about money, but it's about impact on generations together. Having mentioned 10 disadvantages, it's also my responsibility, being an optimist, to mention 5 advantages. Advantage number 1, brain drain will come down now. Brain drain is all about Indians who are born and brought up here but go abroad and work for the progress of the other nation, maybe because they don't find the same salaries here. But now that brain drain is going to come down, which is good for India, which means the real exceptionally skilled and talented Indians are going to, or maybe going to, stay back in India, work for the progress of the motherland. Maybe this helps in the domestic industry, strengthening of the domestic industry. So brain drain is going to definitely fall down to a certain level. Advantage number 2, there is something called reverse brain drain.
నువ్వు మాట్లాడకుండా అమెరికా వెళ్ళి శివాజీ. లేదు, ఇదే నా ఊరు.
Which means the people from India who already went to the United States and started working there, who have settled there, now may think of returning to India. Maybe they think India is safe. So reverse brain drain is also possible, which is good. Again, our own motherland will progress. Advantage number 3, this recent American government's decision is a strict warning and an indication that henceforth India must focus on research and development ecosystem. We know it is drastically a failure. Let's not be hypocritic. So henceforth, we believe that Indian R&D ecosystem will really get a great boost in the near future, which is the need of the hour. Advantage number 4, now that America has really given a big trouble increasing the H1B visa application fee manifold times, we still have a lot of Indians who want to go abroad. If not United States, they will go to Canada, they will go to Australia, they will go to Singapore and Malaysia. So they start looking at the other opportunities, which is nothing but diversification of the opportunities. So diversification of the markets will happen, which is good. Why should we have the same client every time? Let's start searching for new clients. Last but not the least, my dear friends, this advantage number 5 is simple. We are going to see some massive reduction in the risk of immigration or displacement. Many people from India, we often see in the recent times many instances, great many instances when some people from India who want to go abroad are displaced, or they are caught at some level of wrong procedure of immigration. So, or some Indians are attacked and killed also in the United States, or if so any other country. So this risk of displacement or wrong immigration or attacks is going to massively come down. Having mentioned 10 disadvantages and 5 advantages, it's also my responsibility before I wind up the video to tell you what is in my mind. In this program English Files, Sham Sir Talks, strongly believe that India has to become self-reliant. I'm not the first person to say this. Maybe I'm not the last person also. But India must at least now take self-reliance more and more seriously. The concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat should not be confined to document or WhatsApp status or a media note. If the concept of Atmanirbhar Bharat should really be implemented, I think this is a high time, this is a clear indication. Because let's also think a bit negatively. Today America has taken such decision. What if tomorrow Canada does the same? What if tomorrow Russia does the same, or Malaysia, Singapore does the same? So let's also now be a bit pessimistic rather than being too optimistic. Be more careful. Atmanirbhar Bharat is the only solution that gives us confidence and that avoids unnecessary desperation. I strongly believe that this is a high time every Indian must focus on Indian products. I also request the honorable government of the country and also respective state governments to really focus on, debate on this issue. If people think it may not work unless the government supports. So English Files stands by self-reliance. Sham Sir Talks today raised his voice. I raised my voice on this. What about you? I shared my opinions on this issue. I would like to also read your opinions and ideas. If any, throw them in the comment section. Let's hope for the better nation. Let's hope for the Atmanirbhar Bharat. Let's work together for more and more self-reliant nation. Earlier times there was a phase where people of other countries came to India for education. Let's not forget that. Let's repeat the history. Let's strengthen our own motherland in such a way that people from other countries, it may sound exaggeration, but it works. People of other countries coming to India for education, like the way they come to India for business. Why not for education? This is a land of knowledge. This was once upon a time the land where people of all other nations started looking up to. Why can't it happen now again? Why can't we repeat the history? Let's not forget the history. Let's try to repeat it, work on it collaboratively. Wish you all the best. I raised my voice on it. What about you? I again say, let's make self-reliant nation. Jai Hind.